know I got the receipts, girl. You know I got the receipts. Welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I am back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. So I see you guys are in the house. I see everybody like, oh my God, is it over? No, it is not over, but your girl stays with the receipts. I stay getting the receipts, and we ran across the jury forms, exactly what the jury, when they go, you know, and they start to doing their deliberating, what they're going to actually deliberate over and what they're going to decide. The percentages, what part is going to be percentage of Tasha K, what percentage is going to be KB Studios, who will be liable for what. So we're going to go over the exact jury verdict forms. All right. So let me check and see who's here. Okay, I see y'all. Marcella, hey girl. Yeah, it's me. Sweet Dark Chocolate or Orable Sexy. Hey girl. Marie Good Hearted. Sonia Maybia. I hope I'm putting that out there right. Low Key, Coach White, Riverbend Jam, Go-Go Maze, Just Valencia, Vanderveer, Pretty Brown One, Jigs in the Wi-Fi Streets. I know that's right. SK Bottom, Miss AP Prayers, Peace and Love, and Queen of the South, CR. Hey boo. Yeah, so we're going to go over the actual jury forms and what they're going to be deciding and deliberating. What are they going to actually be talking about there? All right. What is it giving? What is the jury going to be deciding, and what are they going to be deliberating and what is it going to actually say? So let's just jump right into it. Let's get into it, y'all. So this is the plaintiff's proposed special verdict form. So as I keep telling you guys, this is specifically for the plaintiff. There is no Tasha K defendant. There is nothing that the jury is going to be deliberating as it pertains to Tasha K. Tasha has no, her counterclaims, they were thrown out. This case specifically is about Cardi B and the liability of Kibi Studios and Tasha K. All right. So, liability. Do you find for the plaintiff against defendant Latasha Kibi, defendant Kibi Studios, or both on plaintiff's defamation claim? So it's going to be as to defendant Kibi, yes or no, liable or not liable. As to defendant Kibi Studios, liable or not liable. Could be both. If they find both, they will check both. Do you find for plaintiff against defendant Latasha Kibi, defendant Kibi Studios, or both on the plaintiff's invasion of privacy false light claim? Yes for defendant Kibi, liable or no, not liable. Yes for defendant Kibi Studios, liable or no, not liable. Do you find for plaintiff against defendant Latasha Kibi, Kibi Studios, or both for intentional infliction of emotional distress? Yes for Tasha Kibi, liable, no, not liable. Yes, Kibi Studios, liable or no, not liable. Then we get down into the damages. Please set forth the amount of damages, if any, that the plaintiff has proven with the evidence in each of the following categories. So for pain and suffering, what's going to be the dollar amount for that? Medical expenses, what's going to be the dollar amount for that? Other damages for defamatory statements, the dollar amount, and then we will have a total. Do you find defendant Kibi and defendant Kibi Studios jointly and severely liable for the damages awarded to the plaintiff? Yes or no? So there, once they have that total there, do you find that they're both jointly liable for these damages? If the answer to question 5 is yes, then they would skip the next question. If the answer is no, please assign the percentages for Kibi and Latasha, the studio itself or Kibi. And we know that Kibi Studios LLC, Sheck is the owner of Kibi Studios. So this is basically you and your husband are being sued, the entire Kibi household, because Kibi Studios is an entity, it is an LLC. So when you sue an LLC, you cannot sue the person that is being sued. Tasha K is not the owner of Kibi Studios. So the owner and the person that is the CEO, the president of Kibi Studios, is the one that's liable for this lawsuit. They're suing the actual business. Legal fees and expensive punitive damages. Concerning a possible award of attorney's fees and expenses amount will be determined at a later time. Please answer the following additional question. Do you find that defendant Latasha Kibi, defendant Kibi Studios, or both have acted in bad faith, have been stubbornly litigious, or have caused plaintiff unnecessary trouble and expense? This means, do you feel that this lawsuit was frivolous? They acted in bad faith and allowed this lawsuit to go on. They were stubbornly litigious, meaning they did not have to go forth with this lawsuit. They could have settled with Cardi B behind the scenes by taking the videos down and not going forth. So do you find that they acted in bad faith? Yes or no? And again, defending Kibi and Kibi Studios, yes or no? Concerning a possible award of punitive damages, do you find that the plaintiff has proven by clear and convincing evidence that defendant Latasha Kibi and defendant Kibi Studios LLC, or both, are guilty of willful misconduct, malice, fraud, wantonous oppression, or entire want of care? Yes or no? Defending Kibi, yes or no? Kibi Studios, yes or no? Do you find that the plaintiff has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Latasha Kibi and Kibi Studios, or both, acted with specific intent to cause harm to the plaintiff? Kibi Studios, Latasha Kibi, did you cause intentional harm to Cardi B with these videos and your defamatory statements? Yes or no? So then the foreperson of the jury, they would sign that form. Then we go on into special interrogations and findings for the claims of defamation 1 through 3. The juries unanimously answer as follows: that the plaintiff has proven by a preponderance of evidence that one or more of the statements at issue are substantially false. Yes or no? So if they found that anything was false, they would put yes or no. If you answer yes, then go into the next question. If you answer no, then your investigation of defamation claims end and you proceed with number 3. Now, number 2 is plaintiff has proven by clear and convincing evidence that the substantially false statements were published with malice and that the actual knowledge of the statements are false or reckless and they were acting in total disregard to the truth or the false, the lies, the falseness of the statements. If you answer yes or no, all right? And then they would say, we, the jury unanimously make the following findings regarding liability for plaintiff's defamation claims. And then you would go down into answering more questions. We, the juries, unanimously find that Cardi B has proven by a preponderance of evidence that one or more of the published statements that was issued are non-defamatory. So if they found that anything was non-defamatory, you answer yes or no. This pretty much basically goes on into those same type of questions for each of the counts. So in the intentional infliction of emotional distress, invasion of privacy and false light, and the defamation claims, they are basically asking in these statements, do you find that any of the evidence supports that it was false statements or that all these statements were true? And then they would answer that. Then they get down into the damages and they say, we, the jury, unanimously make the following findings. The plaintiff has proven by a preponderance of the evidence that she is entitled to recover actual monetary damages. Yes or no? And then if it's a yes, it will go up into the amount. It says if you answered yes, please specify the amount, the actual monetary damages. And of course, that would be in addition to the damages that we read in the beginning. Plaintiff has proven by a preponderance of evidence that she's entitled to recover general damages for pain and suffering. If so, how much? Plaintiff has proven that defendant Latasha Kibi and Kibi Studios are jointly and severely liable for the damages awarded to her, if any. And then the percentages would be below. If it's not 100% for Tasha Kibi, or, if they don't find them jointly responsible, then you have to say which one is responsible for which percent. Kibi is what amount, Kibi Studios is what amount. For litigation expenses and punitive damages, do you find that Latasha Kibi or Kibi Studios or neither have acted in bad faith and have been stubbornly litigious or have caused the plaintiff unnecessary trouble and expense? So they go further into detail. This is a detailed account of what the jury will be using to decide what the punitive damages will be, how much. That's what they will be using. And I found it really, really interesting that they're going to be deciding if there's going to be percentages, if Tasha's going to be fully liable. If so, then it would be 100%, it will be all on Tasha. If Kibi Studios also bears the brunt, then it would be a percentage, but it's coming from the same household. It's coming from the same channel. It's all the same revenue. Where's the other revenue? It's all coming from Kibi Studios. We got 4.5 million views on the video that is the catalyst of this lawsuit. Okay, the source and the reason for this lawsuit. That video is at 4.5 million views and counting. As we speak, people are watching that video. Those views are going up. All right, so the revenue, everything garnered, that's going to be used to pay Cardi B. Cardi B is going to be making out very well in this lawsuit. And defamation cases are some of the hardest cases to prove. When you go forth with defamation, they're expensive, they are costly, the litigation. So it's not surprising that the question is in there. Did Tasha K and Kibi Studios, did they act stubbornly with this lawsuit? Did it have to even happen? Could they have just settled? You're wasting the court time. Basically, that's what that means. Did they waste the court's time? Did they take us through a bunch of unnecessary madness for nothing when it could have just been settled? And I keep saying, this would have been settled on a part of Cardi B. Cardi B would have not settled in giving Tasha K anything. This would have been settled on the behalf of Tasha K. She would have paid Cardi B. Right? She would have given her money to make this go away. And then the videos would have come down, and then listen, don't talk about me no more. Do not spread any more false rumors about me having HPV, herpes, all of these things, doing debasing things. I cheated, all this stuff that you're saying about me. Take those videos down and don't go forth anymore with any of this madness. That's what it was giving from the beginning. They wanted her to settle and go ahead and settle this, but she took the court's unnecessary taxpayer dollars on a court case. 2-3 years this has been dragging out just for her to be in the situation that she is in, where now we are talking about millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars that you may have to pay Cardi B. Hundreds of thousands that's been spent. Cardi said just from the beginning of this lawsuit up until August 2021, she spent $827,000 in lawyers' fees. So if you're going to be found liable for that, there's not going to be a percentage of that. If you are guilty, she's going to be, we already know she's guilty. But when the jury is deliberating and they're deciding how much and what, they're not going to give Cardi a percentage of those lawyer fees. They're going to give Cardi every dime. This is what they're going to get them receipts. The lawyer going to say this is what she paid, and they're going to they're going to reimburse. That's a reimburse. Give me my money. Please reimburse me. Thank you, ma'am. Because if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't have spent that money. I asked you to go ahead and take the videos down. You did not. You just kept it going. So that's what it's giving. This is the actual jury, the verdict forms. This is what the jury is going to be using when they decide how much is going to be paid and for what. Every count, everything is going to be measured, and all the evidence, they're going to be reviewing it, and boom. This is the forms that they're going to use when deciding how much. Pain and suffering, medical expenses, other damages for defamatory statements. What's the percentage? Is it going to be total, or is it going to be broken down between Latasha Kibi and Kibi Studios? And like I said, Kibi Studios, we found, is Shaq. Shaq is the owner and the president of Kibi Studios. All right? So it's giving very much that household is all of it. Everyone is in this lawsuit, locked in this lawsuit. All right, and I see what's going on. Don't think I don't see what's going on out here in these YouTube streets. Don't think I don't see the deflection tactics. Now, all of a sudden, we have the employees. Tasha K's camp is falling apart over there. Well, it's falling apart, in my opinion, because everyone now is starting to understand and see exactly what goes on for these stories. I've been watching the interviews with Devon Ray and Chelsea and Storm and he wants to leave now. And, you know, I'm seeing Tasha, but in my opinion, this is a great diversion tactic. It's, you know, put this out in the press to try to take away from what's going on with Cardi B and my lawsuit. Go ahead. This is a great time to expose and reveal all of this. But honey, I see what you're doing, and you're not going to over here. You're not going to trick us. We're going to put out the content, and we're going to get everyone focused and keep them focused on this lawsuit. Great deflection, but no, ma'am. Tasha, we're going to keep our foot on your neck because you did not have to lie about Cardi B. And I hear what Von Ray has been saying, that they spent all their time on Lipstick Alley. Well, we knew that. We knew that. You know, it's been said that Tasha gets her stories from Lipstick Alley. And we know Lipstick Alley is a gossip site. You know, we got people that come over there and throw little threads out and claim that they've been with celebrities. They claim they got celebrity tea. And, you know, y'all sit over there and conjure up stories, have meetings before you go live, trying to get your story and get your lies together and put out this false tea. But you've gotten yourself in a lawsuit. Now everybody wants to break camp because they don't know it's giving, are the checks going to clear? They're not sure if the checks are going to clear. All right. So everyone's jumping ship and, you know, while mama's away at court, the children are arguing. Chelsea's over there messing with the help, being manipulated by a jailbird. I mean, girl, that's why when I told you guys in the last video that she's young and she's not, you know, fully developed mentally. She doesn't understand what women go through in these streets with men that are manipulators, jailbirds. Girl, that was jail talk. That man was writing letters talking about being, you gonna be his wife potentially, and all of this. It's giving, he was saying what you wanted to hear. It was you and Tasha that orchestrated having him move with Storm and setting all that up. That man didn't want to be with you from the beginning, but you wanted to be with him because you thought, oh, he's, you know, he looked good. Then he threw it on you. And now Tasha jumped in the ring trying to get him hooked up with contracts because he had a little following. And it's giving, we're going to put him on a contract. Tasha stayed getting these young people, locking them in contracts. Girl, you ain't got no money to pay people around there, but now everyone's starting to see that, okay, this ship is not as strong and sturdy as we thought it was. Oh, 1 million subscribers, a great production. That don't translate into money, all right? Everything that look good ain't good. Everything that glitters ain't gold, all right? And we all, you know, hey, I'm not squeaky clean. We all have some skeletons in our closet. I mean, we all do. You know, but no, ma'am, I'm not gonna get up here and make up stories for on celebrities just so I can get some clicks and views. I'm gonna do my time. I'm gonna come up, you know what I mean, slowly but surely. I'm gonna put out my content, and if the people watch it, they watch it. If they don't, they just don't. No, ma'am, I'm gonna get out here and work and have a career like everybody else. I mean, what is wrong? Everybody want to go viral. Everybody want to get famous on YouTube. It's nothing wrong with having a job. Nothing wrong with having a career. Nothing wrong with working. You know, everybody think they're going to jump out here and be YouTube famous. Tasha, we're not going to allow you to deflect and use these people's story and their misfortunes to try to deflect from this lawsuit. Girl, Cardi is kicking your tail, and you're getting ready to pay millions of dollars that you don't have. I told you to leave Cardi B alone. I told you, leave Cardi B alone. Why? It was Cardi B. I told you, leave Cardi B alone. Now we in this lawsuit, we don't have any monies. Judge, I told her to leave Cardi B alone. Shaq was up there singing like a bird. I told her to leave Cardi B alone. I don't have nothing to do with it. I don't. I tell her to take the videos down. She don't take them down. All I do is edit. I just edit. I don't know. I tell her, I turn on the lights. I don't know anything. I have nothing to do with nothing. Nothing to do with nothing. All right. Shaq said, save me. I'm saving myself. It's given. Once this is all over with, he going to pack up his bags, jumping. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Then he going to be paddling the boat. I'm getting out of here. Out of here. But yes, you guys, I just wanted to come up and show you, give you a little bit of tea until we get into this back into this case. They'll be back in court on Tuesday. We have another break Monday. They'll be back in court on Tuesday, and we'll get, Mr. Byron, Dennis Byron. He'll be giving us play-by-play, and we'll be having our ear to the streets, listening for those updates, as well as giving you the receipts, backing it up with the court documents. So we'll have that tea on Tuesday when court resumes. But until then, guys, that's all I got for you this evening. Just wanted to give you some quick tea, show you the receipts, and get up on out of here. But it's given, honey, millions are about to be paid. Millions. Jury, that's their paperwork. That's what they're going to be using to decide how much they're going to have to pay. That's it. I ain't got no more. Good night, y'all. Bye.